Welcome back to another episode of the Bougie Book Pod. I am Kira,
I'm Tara.
and we are finishing out our Tandem Read series.
Yes, we are. It's exciting and
So,
sad at the
I
same
know.
time.
I know. I also just realized it is getting so dark so early. The light of my iPad is giving a little like.
Oh yeah, it's like we're telling
I
scary
know.
stories.
So,
If you're watching, it's a cool vibe.
daylight savings. Ooh.
Yeah, we hate it.
Anywho, so where we left off last time in Empire of Storms, we got right to the end of where let's start with Alid and
Mm,
Lorcan. Alid and Lorcan have separated to get supplies, right?
yeah.
And who shows up? But Parrington gets Alid. That's where we cut.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Manon has been dropped off by Abraxas because she's basically dying, and she's like, I forgot if she says like, take me home or take me somewhere safe or
Something
what.
I think it's
What
like
the
take me somewhere safe.
yeah, what the prompt was, and he drops her off with Aelin and the crew.
Mm-hmm.
Where Aelin and the crew are basically, she's just figured out kind of what the nameless is my praise thing means this whole time. She's unwell, and they're gearing up to go to the Stone Marshes.
Sure.
That sounded right.
Sounded very right.
To find the lock
Yes.
that they're supposed to get.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we can go from there because Tower of Dawn will do second.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, end game is where we're at here, and we've got the main climaxes, the emotional impact. Manon has spotted the Eye of Elena necklace that Aelin has, and she's like, where'd you get that? That is an iron teeth symbol. And they recognize, or they realize, that it was witch made. And so, this point my head was like going all sorts of places, like, oh my God, what's the connection here between the two of them? And Manon talks about the history of the curse on the witches, I guess because of the wars that they had with each other. And the curse, so I'm going to read this to you because when I read it, okay, I'll just read it. It says, blood to blood and soul to soul, together this was done, and only together it can be undone. Be the bridge, be the light. When the iron melts, when flowers spring from fields of blood, let the land be witness and return home. And so Manon makes this comment about, for 5 centuries, they've been trying to figure out this riddle or this curse and how to break it. And I'm reading it, and to me, it seems quite clear how to break the curse. Do you agree?
somewhat. I'm not a poetry person, so poetry and riddles are not my strong suit.
Well, I mean, I was just, again, and I haven't gotten to the end of the series, but I'm just like, together this was done, and only together it can be undone. So both groups have been fighting each other.
Oh yeah.
Killing each other. So the only way to undo this is for them to all come together again.
Yes, the iron part throws me off though.
Well, so when the iron melts, in my brain, I was picturing Manon softening. So you're like, like at the beginning of the series, she's all about like, I'm evil, I'm evil, I'm evil. But as these stories go on, yes, she's still evil in a sense, but she is melting.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
That's how I see it. So I'm like, she's melting. So she, I think, is what breaks the curse. She's the bridge. She's the light, and that she's going to bring the witches together. That's how I read it. I was like, oh, they just have to get together, and there's somebody who has to. It's got to be an iron teeth witch who melts or who softens. That's the way I saw it.
That makes sense.
That's the way I saw it, and I was like, duh, 5 centuries? But I guess we're waiting for the
5 minutes.
I know, like, so smart. Like what? Like it's hard?
Yeah. For real.
So she tells them that history, whatever. And Fenris makes this comment to Rowan, and he says, between them, they cover the 3 main races of this earth. Between the 2 of them, they are mortal and immortal. One worships the fire, the other darkness. And then he says, it feels as if we're playing right into the hands of whoever has been running this game for eons. And that just reminded me, I think it was the last book or even the beginning of the Tandem, I can't even remember anymore, when Lysandra had a very similar feeling of like, it just
Mhm.
feels like somebody has been setting this
Yes.
all up.
I think it was the beginning of the tandem.
Yeah, and she was just like, she had this feeling that it just feels like all these plots were put into place and we're just following the way
Yes.
somebody wanted us
Yes.
to. And so, again, you're just like, okay, there's something really important with these two characters.
Yeah, it feels like they also with the witches having to come together, like you said, that their Manon and Aelin's lines were
Yeah.
they're also coming together. Stressing me out over there. Anywho.
And then I wrote down some like character growth moments that I am enjoying. Dorian.
Yeah.
He's really coming into himself.
Yeah, he's in. I would like to say Dorian
New
is in
character.
his villain era, but like
Yes.
not a literal villain. Like
Yes.
he's got his spicy side to him.
Yeah, he's
Whether it's like with his love interests or like even with the crew, like he's not just gonna sit behind his like dad anymore. Like
no,
he is who he is now, and he's got a little more like I'm not just gonna stand by the side. Like
exactly, and he doesn't fully understand his power yet, but he's not afraid of it, and he's not hiding it, and he's exploring it, and he's really growing into it. And it does seem a little evil villainy, like how he quickly be like, well, this is what I can do, and this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Just cross-referencing. Oh my god. What I
sorry.
She has not been this noisy all day.
It's because she wants to be on the pod.
Oh my god.
She's got something to say.
I didn't know where I was.
You said cross-referencing.
Oh, I was looking at my notes. And one thing I wrote down quickly going back to the Man and Aelin thing is not that they're yin and yang, but that there's something about them. They haven't like worked together. They don't have a history together. But when it comes to this and in the future and like the plans Aelin has, like they just mesh together so beautifully.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind.
Yeah.
Because you think of like Adian, who's her cousin and relative, and he's still kind of like, what are we doing? Why are we And it just feels like Manon is just like, no, this makes sense.
Exactly.
And she just gets it.
They get each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's why like when they first meet, they immediately sense a kindred spirit of some sort. And I think that's why they're both like, this is fun. I like fighting with you. I don't want to kill you.
Exactly.
I enjoy this.
Yes.
And I really loved that.
Yes. But yeah, I had that written, like noted because it's just the way they work is very seamless.
Yeah.
Compared to
like they're meant to. Yeah. They're meant to work together.
Exactly.
Yeah, love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Anywho, not to go back, but I was like, I feel like I wrote something down about them that I can't remember.
No, that's a perfect point to make. So, meanwhile, while that's happening, Aelin and Manon are kind of discovering that there's some force between the two of them that brought them together. Dorian's getting stronger, maybe a little more evil. Lorcan does find a lead. There is this whole standoff, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was picturing this incorrectly, but it was like, wasn't it like in an alley?
That's how I saw it.
Or like they pulled her into a room, or I don't know.
There are multiple scenes in this series where things go down in an alley.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm starting to forget. But there is a moment where Elide thinks that Lorcan left her, and or maybe has set that up for her to be taken, which really made me sad because I felt like they were coming such a long way. But then he does show up. But it kind of turns out that she didn't need him completely, because she finds moments where they're distracted to like get away from someone, or she grabs a weapon and like, I remember reading it and thinking like, Elite can take care of herself to a point, you know?
Yeah.
She can.
Which was hard for me because I still pictured her way too like young and
Yeah.
like not immobile, but
Yeah.
like I don't know the way they just talk about her in the beginning. I was
I know
very,
you
like,
do see her as very disabled,
yes,
and not in a negative way, but it's just
yeah,
like, how could she be running away? How, and it's just, I guess she's just so used to her foot being a certain way
mm-hmm.
that
And you've got to think
she's
like the
adapted.
adrenaline and everything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So they do get out of that situation.
But then they have their little moment.
Elite and Lorcan.
Yeah.
Oh yes, they do.
Is this where it happens?
I think it's not too long after that,
Okay.
right? Or
I
was it
couldn't
before?
remember exactly.
Was it before? And that's why she's so mad or upset that he may have left her.
Oh no.
I don't remember anymore, but I know they have a moment in like on the grass.
Yeah. I don't know if I can find it, but yes.
But they do. They do have they consummate their relationship.
But do they? Because this is the most diabolical Sarah J. Maas move of all time. When like the amount of things that she goes into detail, whether it's this series or her other series, that are just like, wow. And then with Elite and Lorcan, it's so Lorcan did.
Yeah.
What did he do?
I think, well, now I have to look when this book came out because it's nothing like ACOTAR.
No.
In terms of how she describes those things. Because even when Aelin as Selena got with Kale, it wasn't that descriptive.
But Aelin and Rowan, and here, theirs is pretty descriptive.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe that means there's more to come or not. I don't know. Or maybe it's not supposed to be as significant. I don't know.
I just feel like we
didn't get the full.
Yeah, it's like when Nesta has the Cassian Azriel moment, and you're like, whoa, where's Sarah going here?
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was a letdown.
I actually forgot about the So Lorcan did until you said that, because that's just such a hot.
Yeah.
I want to find what the wording is, but anyway, continue on.
Okay. So there is a point where oh man, so Lorcan decides, yeah, we're going to the path to Aelin and Co. And they find them, and it's like, it's exciting as a reader because you know that finally all your characters are going to be.
Yeah, they're like on their board game, and they're finally meeting up.
And they're finally going to meet up, and you're just like, how is this going to work? Because Lorcan has this side quest of like, he still feels like he's going to kill Aelin or take the lock from her or whatever the keys. And Elide thinks that they're just what? That face.
That's not even in this book.
That can't be right.
This says it's Kingdom of Ash.
No, because I haven't read that yet. Because all right, where I'm at in Kingdom of Ash, she is not a fan of Lorcan. And we will talk about why she's not a fan of him. No, it definitely happened in this book.
They're trying to say it's chapter 87 of Kingdom of Ash.
Well, maybe they do it again. Don't ruin it for me. But
nothing's ruined because it doesn't say anything.
Well,
anyway,
I'm telling
upsetting.
you, it's this book. It happened in this book.
Yeah, they come together in here because he's like, I want to go to
I want to go to parents with you. That's what he says to her. Hold up.
Ugh. And then she gets super pissed at him, and they go into Kingdom of Ash still pissed, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, maybe it's their makeup.
Oh, I knew they were going to make up, so you're not going to ruin that for me.
Sorry.
But hold on. You keep talking because I'm going to find it. I know it happened.
My brain is all jumbled now.
I know it happened.
Anyway,
so they're on their way, and they're going to meet.
All of our little game pieces are coming together at the Stone Marsh, or whatever the hell it's called. In my head, it's the Stone Marsh. However, in this moment, Aelin is like gearing up to help deal with the Ilkin that have arrived.
Yes.
And Lorcan can sense that power, and so he's like literally puts up a shield because Aelin's about to absolutely burst. And she does. She uses
I forgot about that.
Yeah, she uses all of her power because it's important, because that was planted, the Ilkin were sent intentionally to use her power. But anyway, so she uses all of her power to like just decimate them. But then afterwards, you have a really nice moment where Elide and Aelin reunite. Are you kidding me right now? I'm out.
Baby girl, look at you.
Talk about the most.
Look at you.
Jeez Louise.
She's like, I am going to make you notice me.
Oh my god.
Pay attention to me.
Okay, anyway. Back to what I was saying. This is when we have a beautiful little Aelin, Elide reunion. And then on the other side, you have Gabriel and Fenris just absolutely go at Lorcan.
Yes.
And they have this like battle in their animalistic forms. I don't really know what it's called in this book. I can't remember. And their true forms, whatever you want to call that. All I know is Fenris is a wolf.
Yes.
In their true forms. And in this little collision, Elide is bit.
Yes, because I think she tries to stop it to save Lorcan.
And I can't remember if it's Fenris
or... It's Fenris.
Okay, because I don't remember what Gabriel's like animal thing is.
He's a lion.
A lion. Okay, good. Whew. Anyway, so Fenris accidentally bites her. They have to deal with that. But then Elide and Aelin have their beautiful little moment where Aelin is able to, first off, they piece together who the hell Aelin and Selene, like they make that connection. Mm-hmm. But Aelin tells Elide the story of Elide's mother and how her mother was a like not a nurse.
I was going to say like a nursemaid, like a
yes, that's what I was thinking too. Okay, a nursemaid, and when Aelin's house when she's younger is ransacked. I don't know. My wording is not great today. Her mom buys Aelin some time and also has like something to tell her daughter eventually. So they have this like beautiful moment. And then Elide is like, oh my God, that's beautiful. But also I have this that Kaltane, is that how we were saying her name?
That's
Kaltane,
how I was. Sorry guys.
Yeah. Has for her that piece that she took out of her arm and her skin before she just imploded. And so she's able to give her that stone to Aelin, and they have this like moment. Anyway, the Elide and Lorcan thing is really gonna mess with me.
I think I found it.
Okay.
So, oh no.
And now that I think about it, and now that we talk through it, it does make sense that what I'm thinking might happen in Kingdom of Ash. But they have their moment where they like confess their feelings.
Yeah. I'm trying to wonder. Now I'm wondering if I just imagined that they went all the way or if they were interrupted. Because
they kiss?
They do kiss. Okay. I mean, listen, she was panting, she realized, as she ground herself against him. And Lorcan tore his mouth from hers and kissed her jaw, her neck. So, she wanted more. Okay. I don't think they went all the way then because it says that I guess they like were about to, and then he says, "Is that a storm?" Or she said, "Is that a storm?" And he said, "We need to run." And Ilkin.
Okay.
That is an army of Ilkin.
Well,
okay, so I guess I wanted it so bad that I imagined it happened.
I get that.
I don't know.
I'm a
little embarrassed that I really thought they did it.
I mean,
damn, I wanted that so bad for them. Yeah. Well, I'm glad we settled that. Oof. Sorry for everybody who thinks we are idiots.
So, now here's the issue. You're going to have to take this over because now we have the mirror.
Okay. So,
and I just can't.
So when they think they're finding a lock.
Yeah.
And
in the stone marsh.
Yes. And after Aelin is able to eviscerate the Ilkin, they find what they think is the lock, but it turns out to just be this mirror. And
but it has the Eye of Elena in the corner.
Yes. So again, another clue, but it also feels like, oh my God, another clue. Where's the lock? So everybody's a little pissed off at this point and disappointed. Like, what are we doing?
Naturally.
And so now Aelin, I think this is that moment where Manon is like, snap out of it. You know, like it's not going to work. Like, we're going to figure it out, but we can't be all upset. So they're trying to figure this out. Aelin is slightly panicking at this point because she doesn't know how to lead them. And meanwhile, Dorian goes off and he just really, really thinks about it and thinks about it. And finally, he comes up with this idea that he brings to both Manon and Aelin and says, I think you guys are supposed to go in the mirror. And he's like, just the whole, like, there's just too many coincidences that I think you guys are both tied to this. And I think there was, and I wish I had highlighted it. I probably did somewhere. I think there was some like riddle or some saying that was on the mirror or around the mirror, or like what somebody had said about it, that Dorian put it together that it meant like her fire and her iron or something like that.
Which would make sense. Like, Dorian's gifted, but he just doesn't come out of left field with like.
Yes, and he was like, I can't say for 100%, but I think you guys are supposed to go in it. I think something you unlock in the mirror.
Yeah.
And so he just tells this to Aelin and Manon, and they're just like, all right, let's try it. What do we have to lose, you know? And they both end up walking into the mirror and disappearing. And at that point, Rowan comes and he's kind of like, where did they go? And Dorian's like, in the mirror. And then Rowan's mad because he's like, how are they going to come back? And it's just like, and everybody's mad at Dorian. So they get into the mirror, and in the mirror is like, I picture it like the pensieve in Harry Potter. Like they go into memory land, like they go into the past, and Elena is there. And they learn how everything went down with Elena. And what you learn, from the best of my ability of recalling now, is that Elena's father had the lock or the keys to the lock or whatever. But he was holding on to the lock for like the very last possible moment for a reason Elena did not know. And it was, he could lock the princes or the Valg back in, but it was going to take every ounce of his life force. So he had to be ready to make sure, if I'm going to make this sacrifice, that I do it correctly and it's actually locked and done. But what ended up happening was she got mad at her dad for not agreeing on some sort of strategy.
I just picture a battlefield this whole time, right? Like they're out. Okay, yeah.
And she steals it from him. Yeah. And she's like, we have this lock, we can do it now. Give our people some time. And she opens it or whatever. I can't even remember how it happened. Not realizing that she didn't do it correctly, or she didn't have all three princes or something like that. Yeah. And basically, like, the gods or whoever were like, you dumb bitch. Like, that's not how it was supposed to go. And so now you have doomed your ancestors to take care of this for you at some point in the future. Yeah. And so what you learn, and I'm sorry if I did a horrible job explaining that, but what you learn is that Elena had to promise her heir or her line of heritage to sacrifice their life when the time came, and that Aelin and Dorian have both been set on this path purposefully, kind of like Harry Potter, where other people were making these decisions for them to lead them, just like Lysandra, just like Fenris was like, it feels like someone's been choreographing this, right? And I was just picturing Manon standing there like, oh, you know, like she does have a part in it, but not in the way.
Not to that level.
And she's just like, oh.
My bone to pick with Elena is, if you are the one that messed up in the first place, why have you been so cryptic the entire time?
I know.
Like, if you mess up, you don't want your heir, your line to mess up. You're guiding them, but Jesus, just tell. Yeah. Did they say, like, hey, you can't be, like, up front? Like, my God, just tell them.
I think she was afraid that she'd be like, hell no, I'm not going to do that.
That is true.
Because she's 20 at this point.
Yeah.
So, and then she tells Aelin that the only reason Aelin survived that night when her parents were killed was Elena saved her.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, she was thinking that like she had like the strength and the gumption as this little
in
baby
the
in the river, and it wasn't. It was Elena, and then it was Elena who like who got Arabin to leave his house at the time so that he would find her. And it's like, damn, you set her up with the worst person imaginable, but she knew that he would teach her the skills that she needed. So
I don't like Elena.
No, I don't like her either. And then she's like crying and upset and like, please forgive me. And then she wants you to feel bad because it's like, once you do this and you die and the lock is forged, I don't exist anymore, not even as a ghost. I go to nothing. Mm-hmm. And she's trying to say like how sad for her because then she won't see her beloved in the afterlife.
I'm sorry, Elena.
But it's also like, I don't feel that bad for you.
No.
So Aelin gets this soul-crushing news. And again, I can't, maybe it's just like how I relate to the story, but I keep thinking of Harry Potter, like when Voldemort and him have that stand and he lets him kill him and he just has that decision, like, this is what you have to do now.
Yeah. Which is super interesting because in Harry Potter, he has a better relationship with them, but he's visited by his parents and Sirius.
So he feels that support of like, well, I've got people with me. But then
Elena's like, feel bad for me.
Yeah. Like, this is so sad.
No.
And so, that Aelin is getting this horrible news. Meanwhile, more Ilkin are coming.
Yeah. And they're out there just... And they're like in a mirror off on this battlefield giving this history lesson, and everyone's like trying to fight this.
Yeah, they're like, where's Aelin? Like, where are our two best fighters, basically? And Rowan's pissed that like she may never even be able to come back. Like, where did you send her? Like, so much stuff is going down.
And this is when they come back. Correct me if I'm wrong. They come back from the mirror and they are smack dropped right in front of Maeve.
Yes, but before that, Maeve's ships come in.
Yes.
And there's a whole fleet of them.
Oh, yes.
And Rowan is still waiting on where the hell is Aelin, right? Yep. And he makes the decision
I forgot they weren't there yet.
that he is going to try to talk to his relatives on those boats. He's like, and they hear him out. Yeah. They listen to him.
And because all they have is them and the redhead.
Ansel. Oh, we didn't even talk about Ansel. Ansel comes back, which is kind of fun. She shows up, and she's basically like queen of, what did I say?
Briarcliff.
Yeah, and just like she fought her way to take over this land, which Melisandre. And Manon is none too happy about it because like that's supposed to be their land, but it hasn't been their land for centuries.
Manon can deal with that later.
Yeah, we've got more important things to do. So Rowan goes and he makes like this last ditch effort to talk to the Whitehorn people and just being like, this is what we've learned about Maeve. Mm-hmm. This is what's going on. And before Aelin comes, suddenly like the Whitehorn flags come up.
Yeah, that moment was like...
That was pretty awesome. Oh, yeah. And they decided that they were going to fight against their queen that they have been serving to serve Rowan instead. And it's just like, oh my God, so now they have some people.
Yeah.
And then Aelin...
Yes, and then they're dropped literally like right in front of her on the ship.
Yes.
This is also when Lysandra... Is she out there as a sea creature again? Like, she's the only one keeping this battle like afloat at this point before they switch the flag, correct? I don't know. I can't remember. Lysandra's coming in hot again, like the badass.
Basically, it's just Aelin and Manon, and then somehow Lorcan and Elide.
Yes, because Manon had Maeve. I keep getting Maeve and Manon. Maeve has Elide like by the throat or the knife or something.
So Rowan is kind of far.
Yes.
And he's sensing that he needs to get to Aelin, but he's far away or whatever. And like all this stuff is happening. And you slowly realize that Lorcan called Maeve.
Yeah, and this is when...
And I think he quickly realizes I done fucked up.
Yeah.
Because now she's got a lead and that is not okay for him.
Yes. But like, you're like frustrated with Lorcan in the moment, but then also none
Mm-hmm.
of them knew who Maeve really was.
Correct.
Like it
Yeah.
is. I don't
He
know how
he
to.
had no
I don't know
idea.
what tense to use in that moment.
Yeah. He
They
had no
don't
idea. Yeah.
know
They don't
what the
know.
long game is, and this
Mm-hmm.
is also when you learn that Maeve has been. She's the one that's been sending the Ilkin.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason it was important that she sent the Ilkin before and Aelin like just took him out is because now Aelin like is it's
Depleted.
yeah, it's too close. She hasn't regained her strength again,
Mm-hmm.
and so they're in this moment where they need Aelin, but Maeve has intentionally been like,
yeah.
Sex.
And so now it's kind of like, I'm going to kill her unless you come to me, give me the keys or whatever.
Yeah, give me the lock.
This whole time, Manon's just standing there, and you're wondering, like, when is she going to make a move, try to help? She doesn't, but she also doesn't want to leave to get hurt because that's her little pet.
Yeah.
And then at some point, Aelin says, "Okay, you can take me. Let her lead go, and you can take me." And she willingly goes to Maeve. Manon grabs the lead. The lead wants nothing to do with Lorcan.
Yeah.
And Maeve takes Aelin
in a box.
In an
iron box.
In an iron box.
Because iron inhibits or whatever stops their magical, prevents them from using their powers, whatever.
Don't they say that in Akatar too?
Yeah.
But that it doesn't work as well as like people think.
Yes.
Against the Fae.
Which is super interesting because, not spoiler, but in Crescent City.
Same?
No, it's a different substance.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yep. Interesting. So
she is upset about this scene too.
It is a horrible scene.
Horrible
scene. So before let's just back up just a little bit. So before this all went down, before Aelin went into the mirror, because we didn't talk about Ansel. Ansel returns. She's queen of the waste. And Aelin does say to her in front of everybody.
I'm overstimulated.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Everybody's okay.
It's fine. Aelin says in front of everybody, finally a plan to Ansel. She's like, I want you to find the Crocian witches.
Oh, yeah.
And then I want you to offer them the land. Like, share the land with them.
Yeah, because Manon gets pissed.
Manon is like, the F you or not.
But why do they want the waste?
Because it was supposed to be theirs, right? And Manon is not okay with that. And Aelin is just like, you lost that a long time ago, and you're just going to have to get over that, sweetheart. And Manon's just like, we'll deal with that another time. But, like, she is not okay with it. So she's already kind of made plans, like, you're going to do this, and you're going to take care of that. So now cut back to Maeve has Aelin.
In a box.
But I think before the box, didn't she, like, whip her? Didn't, like, Cairn?
Yeah, Cairn, Crane, Kron, whatever.
I say Cairn. Sorry if it's wrong.
Yes, he does, because Aelin's blood. Oh my god. Is on a shirt, maybe, because remember, there's a shirt or there's clothing that's left.
What he does is they whip her, and it like opens up the wounds that she had initially from when she was in the very first book, when she was in the camp.
Yeah,
Endivere.
So the only reason I remember the shirt is because I've seen fan art.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Of when the rest of the crew.
Gotcha. Yes, because they make her strip down to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And he whips her, whatever. They put her in this box. Elide is screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Manon keeps Elide, like, we gotta not interfere with this, which is interesting, right?
Yeah.
And they do end up taking her away.
Because then after that is when they're dealing with the aftermath of that, and then Rowan and Adian and the rest.
They show up literally right after they leave.
Yep.
And what you find out is that Manon has the key. So that before Aelin walked over to Maeve, she slipped the key to Manon.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. The two
And
of
that's
them
why,
just
exactly. And
yeah,
it was like so seamless, and Manon didn't say anything, and that's why she was like, I'm not going to make a move. Like, Aelin has made her choice. We'll
yeah.
figure it out later. But
This is probably when you have like the most gut wrenching
you
points.
want to say the line?
I want to find it, see
Okay.
if it's
So yeah. So we realize that Lorcan has betrayed them. He made a call to Maeve. Um, but it seems as though Aelin anticipated that that was going to happen.
mm-hmm.
And once again has made all these plans without telling anybody except for Lysandra.
Yes. Lysandra is in on it.
And so I think we talked about in the last episode that the whole nameless is my price. Aelin started putting things together before she even stepped in the mirror and was like very sick and throwing up. And Rowan's thinking, oh my God, are you pregnant?
Yeah.
But it's really just like the full understanding of everything kind of washing over her of like, oh my God. And I think it's at that moment that she confided to Lysandra.
Yeah. So at the end, they all show up. Lorcan also just had his blood oath
that's right.
severed, so he's like going through it, and Alita's like, "Shut the fuck up, no one cares."
Yeah.
So
like, cry me a river.
Rowan shows up, and it says, as Rowan's face, calm with lethal wrath, appeared in his vision, and then he said, "Where's Aelin?" And he's like panicking. He says it again, and then Lorcan. You're in kind of like Lorcan's like third person point of view because it's like, what had he done? What had he done?
Yeah.
And then Rowan says, "Where's my wife?" And then that's when a lead is like crying even harder, and everyone it's like settling with everyone like, oh my God. And then Lorcan's having the moment like Lorcan had helped Maeve, Rowan's wife, his mate. This is, things just go downhill, and then you realize, like you were saying, Aelin put everything into place. She had married Rowan, so Harrison
would have a
king if things happen, and she set up with Lysandra, which they kind of get pissed at Lysandra because like she was the only one.
So unfair, I think.
Yeah, if anyone, you're gonna get pissed at Aelin eventually, but like she set up with Lysandra, so if something happened to Aelin, she can shapeshift to be Aelin,
so that they can still get their allies. Because it's like if the allies know Aelin is gone, they're gonna be like, she was our ace in the hole. We're out. So they need her to pretend to be Aelin. The only thing is she can't summon fire. So they just kind of like have to hope that they don't need to.
And they're all just in this moment like, oh my God, what do we do? Panicking.
Except for Manon.
Manon's the one that's like, you know what?
She says, I love it. She goes, I'm going to find the Crocians, and I'm going to raise an army with them for Aelin Galathanus and her people and for ours. And so she's like, I have a plan. This is what I'm doing. This is what she wanted me to do. And I'm going to do it for her. And I was like, the fact that she said it's for Aelin is just like, oh my God, she's come full circle.
I also really like the other quote you have, because I just put the book away about.
She had made plans for all of them and none for herself. Speaking of Aelin. So she knew that this was how it was going to go about. And she made contingency plans for if she was gone. And then the book ends with unleashing a cry that set the world trembling. Prince Rowan Whitehorn Galathanus, consort of the Queen of Terrasen, began the hunt to find his wife. And you know what that reminds me of?
I don't know.
Mist and Fury.
Oh. I was going through Harry Potter scenes.
No, like the end there where it just reminded me of that end of like how like, oh, they played the game, like because you were thinking that she was on the other side or whatever.
So they like watched her go off into enemy territory.
Or the Queen of the Night Court or something like that. And you're like, oh my God. So that's how that kind of reminded me of that. And man, when I ended that book, I think I texted you like, oh my God, what is gonna happen to Aelin? It's just wild. And then to go into Tower of Dawn, and it's just like, oh my God, these characters, like Cale had no idea what's happening to his friends.
You gotta feel for him. And I'm not a Tower of Dawn hater. I like Tower of Dawn.
I did too.
But like the ending of this is better. Nothing in comparison.
No. It's like, so much more powerful and cliffhangery. I mean, this has a cliffhanger.
This is like, we need to wrap up at the southern continent.
Yeah.
We need to get our butts to the
Yeah.
northern continent. Like, let's just, and
Yeah.
that's what it is. Like, let's get our information and let's go.
Yeah.
We're not gonna like,
Totally.
I mean, they like shit hits the fan there, but
Yeah.
it's not to the level of this.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So I think where I was gonna scroll up, where we left off with Tower of Dawn is right when Kale and Irene have their little dispute, and then he walks.
He walks, yeah.
And then Nezrin has left, and she's with Sartak and his like the Ruck Riders, and you meet like the Hearth Mother.
Sorry, just with the Ruck Riders.
Yeah, I know. I heard it in my head too. And his like Hearth sister, whatever, Boar, and you've got what's his name? Falcon?
Yes, Falcon.
You've got him, and then you learn about like the issues, the nest being.
Yeah, so whatever. It's a little fuzzy to me. I know
I'll try my best.
Irene's birthday is coming up, and she gets Hussar, the princess that's her closest friend there. Yes. But she's also kind of like a villainy princess. Oh, she gets her to plan a birthday party for her
in the desert.
In the desert, and it's purposeful because they want to find something there. And so they do this birthday party there or whatever, and they go out into the desert. They find a time for the two of them to just go, and they find that it was a Fae burial site.
Yes.
And that's where like they start thinking again about how perhaps she has some Fae heritage.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So.
Yes, and I think it also shows them that they have a purpose when it comes to the fight of the Valg. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
There's that connection as well.
Yes. So this is where Kale starts to think, you know, I was sent here to retrieve an army, but I wonder if some other force brought me to retrieve something else. Like there's something special here about Irene and what her healers can do.
Yes, and they're starting to think the healers and the Val. Like,
yes. So like I'm going to fast forward a lot because Irene gets this idea, like, I think I know how to fully heal you. And she goes in and does all this work, but it's really like a lot of work that he has to do with emotions and stuff like that. But in the end, after some stuff goes down and we can go back, excuse me, but in the end, she does tell him, she goes, I have a theory that the Valg are like viruses. And that's how she treated it like a virus and was able to get rid of it. And so that's when they start thinking that's maybe why the Valg was there, because they didn't want them to figure that out and like shut the healers down before they got that information. And now they're like, oh, we may be a really huge asset in this war. But before they get to that point, there is a point where, so they get that information and now they're figuring out the Fae connection. They don't have solid proof, but they're pretty sure. They go back to the party, quote unquote, and Hussar is making all these comments about how Aelin was like Kale's lover at some point, and how he's like dumpster diving now or something like that. And it really ends up pissing Irene off, and she ends up pushing her into a pool. And I remember reading it and I'm like, oh God, because like she's a princess.
Yeah.
But it all works out. Like
they all laugh.
They laugh, and Hussar is like, I wondered when you were gonna grow a backbone. Yeah. But then, you know, they all laugh. She walks away, and then her siblings are like, yeah, you should probably go because she probably will kill you later. So they gotta leave. Hussar fan, but no, neither am I. So that's when they're like, you know what, we should probably leave. Yeah. We should get out. And then they're remembering the scrolls that they found at the library way back, and they're like, we need to get those scrolls again, and we need to find somebody who can read them.
Yes, and that's when they go to Hafasa. I have no idea. They go to her. And,
yes.
And that's when she's like, hey, the person before me left all these books. And I don't know what they are, but they're probably important. And they're like all written in word marks.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
Yeah, I wonder. She's like, yeah, she told me the story, but she was drunk when she told me. So I didn't really like give it much mind. And I think it's like the history of how this all happened, and that it really was Faye who put out there.
Yep.
And they're just, I can imagine the two of them sitting there like, could have told us that a while ago.
It's like that moment where she's like, oh, I have this thing over here. And it's like so casual. And
yeah.
like, okay.
That's what we've been looking for the whole time.
Yeah. And then the whole time this is happening, you've got Sartak and Nezrin off on an adventure, and they fall into a trap with Falcon. Oh my god. They're a hot mess express.
Yes, so they're like
got giant spiders
with spiders. Yeah, stone world with spiders, which is kind of weird. And then they get caught in this deadly web, and then Sartak gets attacked by the spider, and he's like literally dying.
Yeah,
and that's when he confesses his love for her. That really upset me. And it was basically like he says something like, I loved you before I even met you, like, because he was like researching and looking for her and had an idea that she might be the one. And at that point, Nezrin is like, and now you're gonna die. And so that's when she makes this decision of like, oh heck no, I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
But the spider does say something like, what does the spider say? If the spider says something like take them back or whatever, and so she gets into her head that
to Nezrin?
No, yeah, or it says like, I got to get them back before da 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 da. And so Nezrin equates it to, oh, they aren't dead. He's not dead. Saving him for later.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, it's not, I don't have to give up. I can go. Like, there is a chance to save him. And so she decides to go and save him. And it's in this moment where the spider is like, oh, look at this brave little human, and Nezrin is just trying to like buy time.
Yes,
and
this is when she gets the history lesson.
Yeah, like how all villains tell you their story before. And this is where we learn, I remember I definitely texted you.
Yeah.
When I got to this. This is when the spider is talking about like their plans, whatever, and like that they are Valg, and she talks about the queen of the Valg. And Nezrin is like, what are you talking about? There are 3 princes. And she's like, oh no, we serve the queen.
Yes, we don't serve
but people call her Maeve. And I was like, what? Yeah. What? And like things are starting to make sense about why like she was not loyal. And so Nezrin learns this huge piece of information.
Yeah.
Falcon jumps in.
The best part about the tandem read, I do remember this scene being great because you find out that piece when I think they're having the issue in Empire of Storms of like,
Maeve.
Oh. Maeve.
These names.
Maeve is, I don't know why it's Maeve's name too. Maeve is not exactly who we thought she is.
Yeah.
And like her intentions.
Yeah, and they're kind of like, what is she doing? Why don't we
have
that
moment?
Yeah, and then so it's interesting as a reader when you go back to those scenes and you're like, but you want to tell them, but she's this, she's this. Obviously you can't. So Falcon saves the day here too, but then he's gravely injured and he thinks he's dying. And so he says to Nezrin, listen, find my niece. I have a niece. I've never met her, but this is what I know about her. Da, 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 da. And Nezrin is just like, could this really be?
Yeah.
Is this real life?
Yeah.
And so it has to be Lysandra.
Yeah.
And Nezrin is like, oh no, you're gonna live. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna reunite you. And then the Ruck Riders come and they save the day. And I wrote down they set that shit on fire, and really like relatable because most people want to set their house on fire if there's a bunch of spiders.
Yeah, no, for real, because that's nasty.
So, they're getting out, and now she's got this huge piece of information, and she's like, I have got to get to Kale. Yeah. We have got to get out of here now. So then we go back to...
And this is where shit hits the fan with Kale.
Yes, go ahead, take it off. Take it over.
Oh, I don't know if I'm in the right spot. The points that I like bullet pointed here, the next big point for me was when Irene and Kale realize she has that like click of like, here's what I need to do to defeat the Valg or the darkness inside of you. And that's where they go into a really intensive session. And this is when he was healed. That was my next big bullet point that I had. And so, of course, big moment, emotional moment. This is where Cal is like, oh my god, I love you too, and they have that moment because why wouldn't everyone just do that?
Yeah.
Anywho, and then I noted this next part where they go back to the the Tor, the Tor thing, the tower,
Sure.
to see Hava,
Hafasa.
And they can't find her anywhere.
Nope.
And it's like weird because like I think it's like her key is in the keyhole, but she's not there. And I can't remember exactly how they track her down.
Well, they find the scrolls, like she had kicked it under Irene's door or whatever. She's like, okay, she was trying to save this.
Yes.
So something's wrong.
Yes.
So then they go back to the library and then they ask the library, like, how far down do these tombs go? And they're like, oh, it goes all the way down.
Yes.
So they make a guess.
And that's where they find her.
I mean, down. And it turns out there's like this almost like secret tomb place. Right?
And this is where they find her, like, she's not dead. She's bound, and it's Duva. Is how I said her name?
That's how I say Duva.
And it's Sartak's sister. And she is basically saying, like, you're not saying, but you realize she's possessed by a Valg. So the whole time when they were like, there's a Valg here, Duva is possessed by the Valg, and she is the one who killed their other sister that they had been mourning because the other sister started to get suspicious of Duva.
Yeah, like she noticed right away that you're not my sister.
And so they basically have this whole little battle ensues. Things happen. Kale is about to legit die. They don't kill Duva. They're about to. Someone's about to kill Duva, and someone's like, no, stop, please don't. And then what they have to do with Kale is they realize Irene can't just heal him in this moment. And all the healers like put their hands on their back, or there's something that connects them, and they're able to use all of that power to heal him. And this is where they realize Kale and Irene are connected, and when one uses their like strength and their power, the other is depleted. So when Irene is like healing, he is depleted of his like ability to walk in that strength. That's how I understood their connection right there.
Yeah, so she's like begging to like the ancestors heal him, and they're kind of like, he is at death's door, and like you can't heal that, so you have to give something, and do you give it? And she's like, yeah, whatever it is, I give it. And then like Hafasa later is like, well, do you realize what you gave? And then she's like, no. And he's like, well, she's like, your life is entwined now. So basically, like when they go to war, if Kale dies, she dies, and vice versa. But also, like what you said, if she's depleted, he can't walk because his energy is her life force. So it's not the best.
And thankfully, they do. Irene's able to fight that Valg in Duva.
Yes, and it's the other brother, the one who had a crush on her. He's the one that stops it, and is also thankful to them for not killing her, so they can get the Valg out. And then they interrogate her or whatever, and she's like, yeah, this is all true, like this happened. So because of that, the Kagan, the king, whatever, he's basically like, Irene, like, what do you need? And she's like, save my people. And so this book ends with they sail out, like the Kagan gives them all, like almost all their ships, 300 healers, 1,000 ships from the Kagan, Nezrin, the Ruck Riders, and they are making their way, what was it, to Elway? And
they're married.
And they're married, yes.
Everyone got married.
Yeah.
And
puts it a nice little bow on the relationships, except for poor Elide. What happens?
I know. And I feel like there is
because she feels so betrayed by him. She's so, and Lorcan is feeling it too. That like I done messed up so bad.
There was a quote at the end.
Well, this book ends with the chapter Fire, Heart, and Tomb,
which is like depressing.
So depressing.
Oh, there it is. Okay, this is just cheesy, but I liked it because I like Kale.
I do too. I feel bad that in the beginning I was hating on him a little bit, but I like that his character had a nice turnaround.
There's another thing that I want to say, but I like this line. It says, Kale smiled back at his wife, at the light he'd unknowingly walked toward his entire life, even we had not been able to see it. However, he gifts her on the ship. You remember this? He gives her
Yes,
the locket.
I love this.
To keep, and he has no idea what that piece of paper is or
Yeah.
what she always touches,
Mhm.
to keep that in it to stay safe. And so she decides.
Do you have that line?
No, I can find it though.
Yeah.
She decides
He
that
gives her this locket, and he's like, "It's for
Yeah,
to
right
keep that
here.
little piece of paper in that you're always
Man, I found it
that
fast.
you're always carrying." He's like, "I don't know," and she's like, "You notice?" He's like, "Well, I noticed you're always carrying something,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure it's small enough to fit in here."
He says he unfolded because she also feels so confident that she doesn't need it anymore.
Yeah.
So she's able to like get rid of it. But he unfolded a note and read the words he already knew were within. For wherever you need to go and then some, the world needs more healers. But the wave quieted, blah, blah, blah. He glanced at her, and then it says, to the handwriting he knew as well of his own. And she's like, what's wrong? And then, like, she wouldn't have known. She was only 16, had been an Inish on her way to Red Dead. And, like, he starts piecing it together. And then she's like, Kale. And then he literally is going through it. And then all of a sudden, he doesn't even say it out loud until he's literally this whole page and a half is Kale piecing it together in his brain. And finally goes, keep it a while longer, he said softly. I think there's someone who will want to see that.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. He doesn't tell her who it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fireheart, that chapter is like, you're like, oh my god, this is so sweet. And then it's like Fireheart.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit, I forgot we had to deal with that.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot that happened to our girl.
But yeah, it's they entombed her in darkness and iron. She had slept, they forced her to, in a coffin. And you're like, oh shit.
I know. And like I said, I'm only like 25% in to Kingdom of Ash, and I am not having a good time.
No, you don't have a good time.
Although I did get to a part that I was like, okay, but I'm still not having a good time.
Yeah, no.
I know bad things are happening. So yeah, this was such a fun experience reading it as a tandem, and I'm sad that it's over now because I know the end is nigh, and I know that bad things are coming. And it's funny because if you've been around for our episodes of ACOTAR, there were moments where like I thought something really bad was going to happen, and something bad did happen, but then like it magically got fixed and got better. And I was getting mad at that because it's like I'm expecting the worst and I'm ready for it. And then you're like, oh, no, I've got a great way to fix it. And so now I feel Sarah has prepped me to believe that things will always work out.
Yeah.
But I can tell by your face it does not. And so I'm hesitant to finish. I want to, but I don't want to. Yeah. It's oh my God, I just can't believe how much this book has taken over so much space in my brain.
Yeah. I'll be ready to reread the series, I would say, in the next year or two.
Love it so much.
Yeah.
I love it so much. I can't imagine that I'd love a book as much as I loved Harry Potter.
Yeah.
In a very different way. So that is the end of our tandem read. I hope you enjoyed that. Please comment. Please let us know how you did it, what you thought. I guess can't really say theories because this series has ended. But like, what book surprised you more? Which one did you enjoy more? And I hope you stick around for Kingdom of Ash,
which will probably have to be at least 2 parts.
Which I think will be cool because this will be our 28th episode.
Oh,
so it would be cool to split that into 2 and then have like a wrap on our 30th episode.
I had no idea we had that many.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, and 18 people viewing.
Woo!
We love ya.
Oh.
So happy reading and come back next